Hi, my name is Vikash, and in this video tutorial of Depot Online System, I am going to talk about the rake loading at Railhead. The rake loading at Railhead begins at the regional office, where the regional officer of the source creates a movement by rail order, approves it, and then the loading of the commodities in the rake begins at the depot or the railhead. So let us log in as the regional officer and let us create a new movement by rail order. So we are logged in as the regional manager of the Punjab region, and these are the various options that are available. So under the movement we have a option for add movement by rail, which we'll click. We will provide the details of the movement details like the special number. So let's say the special number is 180010. We will give a friendly name. Railhead demo. The number of wagons, ideally the number of wagons will be 56 or 48, but for the demonstration purpose I will just assume it is 4 wagons. Then we will provide the source railhead. So let us assume the source railhead is Rajpura, and these are the depots that is associated with this particular railhead. In our case, let us assume that we will be doing the loading from the Rajpura depot. So we have tested the depot. The number of bags, once again for the demonstration purpose I will assume that only 400 bags are being loaded, in 100 each in each of the wagons. Then which commodity, so let us select, let's say, boiled rice of grade A. Then the net quantity, so let's say 200 quintals, and the scheduled loading date, when it is scheduled. Again, this is an approximate date that while creating the movement order can be given. So we will provide all these details related to the movement order, and if we also know the destination of this particular movement order, we can provide that from here, or it can be edited later as well. So once the entire information is fed into the system, the user needs to click on submit. Once it is submitted, the movement order is created successfully. Ideally, this creation of the movement will be done by the staff members of the regional office. So it is essential that the regional manager needs to approve this newly created movement order. So for approving this particular order, the user needs to go to approval rail movement. It will list out all the movement orders that has been created but pending for approval. So this is the one that we created just now. So the regional manager can verify this information and then finally say approve. As soon as the movement order is approved successfully, the source depot will receive an intimation about this new movement order that has been created. The movement, the depot manager of the source depot, which in this case is Rajpura, can also view the details of the movement. So let us log in as the depot manager and let us see the movement details. So we are logged in as the depot manager of the Rajpura depot, and under movement by rail, if we go to movement details, we can see that the newly movement order is created and it is the status is showing as not started. Anytime the information can be viewed by clicking on the icon over the information icon, or if needed, the information can also be edited by clicking on the edit icon, and we can edit the information such as the number of bags, or if there is any change in commodity or weight, or the scheduled date, or the destination needs to be updated. It can be done from here. So once the depot manager is aware that the movement has been created, then at the given time when the indent is registered, then the indent registration information can be updated into the system by clicking on movement by rail, outward, and indent registration. So the depot manager will select for the special number for which the indent information he is providing. He will provide the registration date. Let's say it was registered today. The indent reference number. This is the indent reference number. The forwarding note number, again these fields are optional, so he can provide the forwarding note number in case he has that information. And the WRF amount that has been paid. So let's say 500 rupees were paid. So he fills in this information and clicks on save. With this, the indent registration details are updated successfully. Now, once the indent is registered, next is whenever the rakes are placed, or when the rake placement happens, then the rake placement information can be entered into the system by going to movement by rail and clicking on the rake placement option. Once again, we select the movement type outward, we select the special number. Once we do that, we can see that we fetch their friendly name and the number of wagons, and this is the place where we provide the placement time. So let's imagine it is placed today at 2 p.m. So we select 2 and we leave it. And then this also tells us, based on the wagon, that this is the demurrage free time that is allowed, and this is the wharfage free time that is allowed. Again, this is editable. The system will give the default value, but this can be edited, and any additional free time that is allocated, that can be updated over here. Once this information of the rake placement is provided, the user can click on save to record this information into the system. So the next step involved is to do the depot-wise wagon planning, to tell that out of the 4 wagons, how many wagons are being loaded by Rajpura depot, or how many are being loaded by any other depot that is associated with the railhead. So the user can update that information by clicking on movement by rail and depot-wise wagon planning. So once again, we select our special number, and if any other depot, we need to select that, in case, like let's say 2 wagons are being loaded from the Rajpura depot and another 2 from some other depot which is associated, which in this case can be Banur. We can say that Banur will load 2 wagons and the Rajpura will load 2 wagons. So this is the way that wagon wise we can specify in the system that which depot is loading how many numbers of wagon. For the demonstration purpose, we will only load from one depot, which is Rajpura, and we will load all the 4 wagons from the same depot. Once this information is provided into the system, we will click on submit to save this information. Now the next step involved is to update the wagon numbers. So to update the wagon numbers, the user will click on movement by rail, outward by rail, and say wagon number assignment. So once again, we will select this special number, and we automatically get, because we have told the system that there are 4 wagons that will be loaded, so we get the 4 options where the wagon number needs to be entered. So we will enter the wagon number, let's say WG01, WG02, WG03 and WG04. So these are the different 4 unique wagon numbers that will be loaded by the Rajpura depot, and we can click on save. So the wagon numbers are allocated successfully. In case let's say out of the 4 wagons, one of the wagon was unfit for loading, either it was damaged or the gate is broken, so the system provides a mechanism where by clicking on unfit and open open wagons, the user can select that which wagon is unfit, and he can tag that this is an unfit for loading, and he can provide how it is unfit on the reason. So in this case, this wagon will not be considered when we are loading the commodity from the Rajpura depot to this particular rake. And in case any of the wagons is open, then we also need to confirm to the system that yes, this particular selected wagon is open, and advice letter from headquarters or the zonal office has been verified. In our case, we will not consider any wagons that was unfit for loading or any wagon that was open, but the option is being provided by the depot online system. So now the next step involved is that the trucks will come into the Rajpura depot, and the commodities will be loaded into the truck and moved to the railhead for the loading. So we will log in as the gate officer, and we will issue the token and the gate pass to the trucks, and we will do the loading operation. So I'll log in as the gate officer of Rajpura, and we will select token management, movement outward. We will give a truck number, movement type, railhead, which railhead it is going to, automatically it will show me the filtered list of the special numbers. We'll select the special number, give the remarks if needy, and we can generate a token. So with this we get the token, and the truck needs to enter the gate at this particular time. The token can be printed by clicking on the print option, and using the thermal printer this can be printed as well. So once the token is generated, the truck will come at the gate and the gate pass will be issued. So let us go ahead and issue a gate pass. So we will issue the gate pass to our truck. While issuing the gate pass, we also get the priority listing, and based on the priority we can tell that from which particular shed or which stack the commodity will be picked up. So let us also see how the priority override works. In case, you can see that the first one is the priority 4 and remaining are priority 5. So I don't want to issue from this, as the number of available bags is very less in priority 4. So I'll go and let's say I'll issue from this. It will tell the system recognizes that this is an override of the priority. So it's taking a concern that yes, it's double checking that yes, you want to override. We will say yes. And later the depot manager can provide the information on the reason of the override. So we'll select this and we will say issue gate pass. So the gate pass has been issued, and the gate pass can be printed by clicking on print button, as you can see. So this is the gate pass that will be handed over to the truck. So the next step involved is that the truck will go to the weighbridge for capturing the in-weight. So we will log out and log in as the LWB officer. So we are logging in as the Rajpura LWB officer. So we will select the token for which we are capturing the in-weight. Once we select the token, once again we see the priority listing, and we also see the selections that we have made in the gate, that the truck needs to load the commodity from stack number 8B04. And this is the way we will click on capture in weight, and we'll capture, let's say the empty truck weight is 1000 quintals, and we will save this. Once we save, the in weight slip is generated and it can be printed by clicking on the print in weight slip. So the next step involved is to do the loading of the commodity in the truck. So we will log out and we will log in as the depot manager, so that we can perform most of the operations without actually logging out and logging in as different role. So we will log in as the depot manager. And now we are logged in as the depot manager, and ideally this can be done by the shed manager's login, and then since we don't want to log off and log in as multiple users, so we are logged in as the depot manager who can perform almost all of the operations. So under shed operations we will be performing the loading acknowledgement. So we will be selecting the token, and we will be communicating how many bags we are loading over here. So let's imagine we are loading 400 bags for 100 bags for each of the wagon in one truck itself. So we'll load 400 bags. In ideal world, the multiple trucks can come in and this operation can be performed, but however, for the demonstration purpose, in one truck itself I'm loading the 400 bags, and I'm loading from the stack 8B04, and we will say submit. So with this, the commodity is issued and it is loaded into the truck. The next step involved is to capture the out weight of the truck. So we'll go and capture out weight. We'll select our token and we'll say capture weight, and let's say the out weight is 1202.67. With that, this is the net weight of the commodity, this is the empty gunny bag, this was our tare weight that we had captured, and we will submit this. Once we submit, the weighbridge slip is generated, which can be printed, and the information provided in the weighbridge slip is the serial number, the truck number, the in weight time, the out weight time, the tare weight, the gross weight, the number of bags, the bag's tare weight, and the net weight of the commodity in quintals, and it has been loaded from which shed and which stack. So once the out weight has been captured, now the next step involved is to generate the truck sheet. So we can go and say generate truck sheet from as a weighbridge officer, and we will select back our token and we'll say submit. This gives us the truck sheet which can be printed, and the information provided in the truck sheet is the full-fledged information on what commodity, where it is going, what is the bag weights, the destination railhead, and etc. So the next step involved after the truck cheat is that the truck will leave the depot. So as a gate officer, we need to log in and we need to say gate pass exit. So we'll select the truck that is going out, and we need to confirm that the truck cheat was printed and verified and handed over to the driver, and we can say exit gate pass. So the truck successfully left. So far the truck came in, it loaded 400 bags, the payments were done, and the truck left the depot and headed towards the railhead. So the next step involved at the railhead is that the loading of the commodity will happen from this truck to the wagon. So we need to go back to the movement by rail outward, and we need to say loading at railhead from the depot. Now it is also possible that at the railhead the commodity may directly come from Mandi and it can be loaded into the wagons. So in those situations the user need to click on loading at railhead from Mandi, in which they can specify the truck details that is coming from the Mandi, the number of bags, etc., and this will be recorded into the system. In our case right now we need to load from the depot, so we will select this option, which is loading the wagons from the depot. We will select the truck. In this case our truck number was PB 400 2000, so we'll select this, and it tells that 400 bags has been loaded. Now over here we need to provide the information that which wagon this 400 bags are being loaded. Ideally the trucks can load in one wagon, so we can tell the number of bags loaded, and this information, this particular page will also tell me that in this wagon how many bags are currently loaded. So for example, if the second truck comes in after 400 bags were loaded in this and loads in the same wagon, then once we select back the same wagon, it will show us that 400 bags have been already loaded, and then what are the new number of bags that are being loaded from this selected truck. So in our case, as I told you, that we will be just using one truck for loading in all the 4 wagons, so I'll just select 400 in the loading now, and then we will load another 100 in the other wagon. So let's say other 100 in the other wagon, and then similarly on the third wagon, and on the fourth wagon we will load the remaining 100, and we will save this. And this is the way we load it. So the loading of the commodity from the wagon has been done. The next step involved is that by now the destination of this particular rake might have been known, so that can be updated. Once again, we are in this demo I'm showing you in a sequential manner, but it is not necessary that all these things needs to be done in a sequence. This can be done by different users in different time. So in this case we need to we can go and see the movement details, and we can click on edit, and we can provide the destination information by clicking on this. Let's say we are sending this to Mayapuri, so we select Mayapuri, and the consignor depot that is associated to this rail head or rail siding, and the number of wagons that are going. In case the wagons are being splitted and going to multiple locations, that can also be provided by clicking on the plus symbol and telling how many wagons are heading towards which depot, and we can submit this. So we have updated the information related to the movement by rail. So the next step involved is to acknowledge the rake loading, so which can be done by clicking on this and rake loading acknowledgement. Outward we select the rake. Once we select, we can see in which wagon how many bags are loaded, and we can say we are acknowledging that the entire loading process is over. Once that is done, now the next step involved is to update the RR number. So we can update the RR number by going to movement by rail, outward by rail, and say update RR number. We will since this rake is heading towards only one depot, so only one RR number can be provided. So we'll give RR demo 01. This is the RR number, and we will save this. Once the RR number has been provided, the next step involved is to generate the convey note and perform the wagon verification. So we can generate the convey note by clicking on reports, movement, rail, generate convey note, and we will select the railhead demo which we created. This is this is the way where user can either generate the convey note for a particular wagon or for all wagons by clicking on select all and click on view report. This will generate a convey note, one at each page, as you can see, which will provide wagon wise information on how many bags were loaded, what is the net weight of the commodity in those in that wagon. In our case, since all the 400 were adopted from the same truck, so that's the reason the net weight is same. So you can see this also provides us the information about the destination, the consignee, the station of dispatch, etc. So this convey note can be printed and it can be placed in each of the wagons. So the next step involved is to do a wagon verification, which can be done by clicking on movement by rail and clicking on wagon verification. Select the special number, and then we can say for each of the wagon whether sealed sample was present or not, whether whether the wagons are sealed or not, whether label is intact, whether convey note was placed or not, whether riveting is done, and also the QC can also come in and provide the moisture content details by using this page. So let's say this is 14.0, then we have 12.9, we have 13 over here, 13, then we have 13.5. Once the wagon verification is done, we can click on save. So the final step involved is now to release this rake. So we can click on movement by rail and we can say rake release. We'll select the outward, we'll select the special number, and we provide the release time. So the release time is approximately 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. So based on the amount of time and based on the free time that was available and based on the placement time, the system has calculated the demurrage charges and the wharfage charges. However, this if the user wants to override the default values that has been provided by the system based on the timings, it can be edited by clicking on this and making any modification if needed to give the actual number that might have the charges that might have been incurred over here. Once the information is provided, the rake can be released by clicking on save, and the rake is released. Now the user anytime can go and see various reports like the loading statement, or during the loading process if the user is interested in seeing what is pending, that can also be seen. So let us see the loading statement, so which can be clicked on movement, rail, and loading statement. So we select the railhead demo and say view report, and this gives us the full-fledged loading statement with the information of the special number, the weighman type, the number of bags, dispatching center, receiving center, and wagon wise information, whether riveting was done, seal was done, convey notice placed, the number of bags, the weight in quintals, and the moisture content. So the full-fledged loading statement. The same loading statement will also be emailed to the destination depot as soon as the rake release process is over. So with this we come to an end of loading the rake at the railhead. Thank you for watching this video.